Hey coaches, by the end of this video you will understand how a funnel works and how you can build your complete online business. It includes coaching, consulting, even courses, or if you want to give away free stuff, I'm going to explain how and how to maximize your business out online. And also you'll understand if there are any errors in your funnel and you don't want to hear other agencies tell you what to do and stuff like that, and I'm also going to give you the fix on each of the steps, and I'm going to give you a complete switch in the frame of how you think about this whole thing. Okay, so step one is understanding these funnels. Different types of funnels are divided in different tiers, and the first tier is where it's completely free, and the second tier and the third tier and the fourth tier are the paid ones, and the price just keeps increasing back and so on and so forth. So basically what's happening here is you don't have to start from the free tier and build all your funnels from here. You can literally start from any point and build down or build up depending on how you want it. So yeah, the first tier, the free tier, is basically the goal is to connect with people and bring them into connection. So let me give you like a rough figure and then get into the details. So let's say you do a lot of content, free content already, and you have a huge following. But the problem is they are not going to buy right away. They have to still build trust with you. Then what you do? You kind of make them feel a little exclusive. How? You tell them to comment something and tell them that you can join a community, you're going to send them some lead magnet or something yourself. The goal here is to qualify your leads. And how do you do this? By telling them, if they are person X, what are you going to give them? For example, if you are selling to a marketer, the lead magnet for them would be a Notion dashboard which tells them how to onboard a client, something like that. Because I just commented on someone's comment and they sent me that. It was kind of cool. So basically this is what you can just kind of make this, and then they enroll in your newsletter. It can be that, or you're giving some lead magnet free. But the point here is to get them on and try to not convince them per se, but try to keep them hooked to you and get close to you. And getting their email is primary access because that's where you're kind of directly connecting with them. I mean, many people also try WhatsApp. WhatsApp does work great if you are in a certain locality, India, China, very rarely China, but India. If your audience uses WhatsApp, you can try that also. Messaging also works, but messaging is a little bit risky because people are not okay sharing their number. So yeah, this is what the goal for a free tier would be, and how you maximize kind of balancing value and equity is what I call. Value is where you're giving away free stuff, knowledge, and all of your consulting and coaching stuff, and equity is where you're asking them something. You're asking them to kind of, even if it's a free thing, you're asking them to sign up for something, you're asking them to pay for something, then this is where it comes. A freebie can even include one-to-one consultations or webinars if you're just starting out. But I highly suggest if you're running ads, then don't give anything away for free. The reason is because ads are hella expensive, and I think the minimum goal should be to at least break even on the ads. So if your cost per acquisition is like $100 to $200, if you're in a competitive niche, then price your product at around that same price. So at least you're not gonna go in loss, and even if you do, it's not really so much. Okay, moving on, the second tier is the first paid tier. This is where things get fun. See, I was talking about like when you're running ads, you have to put a certain amount. This is where it is. The goal can be a lead magnet because some people give away a little bit of a paid lead magnet. If you're starting out, if you don't have an organic following, this is a great way to get started. What they do is a person sees an ad or they see something and they want something at the moment, which is pretty low effort. By the way, you can even do content and also do it. It doesn't have to be ad. It's just an example. And then they buy the offer, whatever you're selling. What I suggest is try to cram as much as value as you can in that small package, because they should feel like, oh my god, I'm getting so much value for such little price, that they're likely to be going for the next tier, which is the final paid tier, which will blow your mind, by the way, so stay tuned. So coming back to this, the goal here, as you can notice, is one, to recover ad cost, to start a relation of the paid membership. It's also a kind of a way people qualify their leads. So for example, there is this one funnel where people take a deposit and they go to the one-to-one call, and if they are going to be a client, they are going to add it to the one-to-one, and even if they don't become a client, they just refund the deposit. It is just to qualify the lead so that they are not wasting your time. But there are other more ways you can qualify leads, such as asking them the right questions. But also this is a very more efficient one if you are on a rush, or if you clearly don't know the ins and outs of what questions to ask and stuff like that. If you don't want to put too much thought into it, I suggest you can just ask for a tiny deposit and you can try that out. So what you can do in this tier is you can give them book. So there is this funnel called as the shipping plus free funnel. So what happens? Free plus shipping funnel. So what the funnel says is that you will get this XYZ physical book for free, but all you have to do is pay for the shipping. In fact, they're actually paying for the book, but you kind of get the logic, right? It's a free, people like free stuff. And if you say I'm going to give this free for this amount, it kind of works, because many big companies, even Sabri Subi, the guy from Sell Like Crazy, does the same thing. He sells his book in the same manner. If you don't want to just recover ad costs or just build relationship, this can be divided into two parts. Let me explain. So number one is where you are going to do the kind of recover your ad costs, build your relation, stuff like that. And another level is where you are selling courses. That's why I put the course and prompts here. Imagine you're just cramming so much stuff, but that $200 isn't enough worth. You're gonna up the price. You're gonna go next level. Is you can just do the same tier, but a much better version of it, or you can just upsell them in the same funnel itself. So now let's get into version 2 of the paid tier. Basically, the conclusion of this is you can divide it in two, and you can even do the upsell right after you have given the initial offer. Excuse me. So version 2 is a paid tier where the goal is to convert the customer into like a much premium customer. The question is, either we are not doing recorded webinars, then how do we convert them? So here's the goal, right? We don't have to do recorded webinars to convert from this part to this part. Remember, I told you divide this in two parts. The second part, what you can do is actually get them into a bunch of webinars, like multiple set of webinars where you are just giving value, and the last webinar is the webinar where you are doing the selling. And the reason this is done is once you do that, people will trust you more, because they have literally been with you for almost like 4 or 5 days, depending on how you are positioning it. And you are literally selling a webinar and then you are selling on the webinar. It's just you are doing a lot of selling, but it's not actually sales. You are actually providing them value, because remember, you have books, templates, frameworks, courses and prompts which people can actually use. There are so many stuff they can really use. You're giving so much value that they are highly likely to convert from next webinars. Here also, you can, instead of just doing webinars, you can do all the previous stuff, but doing much more, like which is gonna take them to the next step of their, you can call it life or stuff like that. Or there is another, you can get them into a special community. You can do other paid stuff. You can even do subscriptions. You can do them multiple offers and stuff like that. And why do we do this? Let me explain. So this tier is a bit of a, like I would like to call a fancy one. And the reason is that here you will probably work with them really closely. So what used to happen till now is that you will probably go into a webinars, but there are so many people. To get that sense of exclusivity, you do this. And by the way, until now, I want to explain it here on site just in case. So by the way, you don't have to just do content, you just do ads. Here's the thing. You can get client from organic, you can get clients from doing paid content, you can get clients from doing SEO and stuff like that, which is basically content again. You can get clients using cold outreach, where you're actually reaching out to your customer. Outbound does work in coaching, and it works really well, by the way. And even after that, you can do it by just building connection throughout. So it just isn't like a one-time thing which is just people are just gonna buy right away. It kind of takes a little time and stuff like that. And all of them will come to that webinar which I mentioned, which you are doing over here. And after that, you can just sell them to the one-to-one. You have done all of this and stuff like that, and then finally you come to the one-to-ones, which is doing all these one-to-ones, of course. It can be a physical event, it can be a one-to-one, it can be premium access to your network. It can be anything. Even you can put your own AI. Actually, you can make your own AI and give it here or here. But this is a good add-on. You can make your own app. There are so many things you can put in the final tier that people will pay you not thousands but tens of thousands just to be with you. And that's how you make a million, I don't know, $1 billion, how it's done yet, but $1 million coaching business. This is how I would do it. Hope this helps. Oh wait, I'm missing something. Yes, I'm missing how we are gonna fix something if there is an issue. It's pretty simple. See, the reason I divided this whole thing into different types of funnels is for you to find out where where the main cause is. For example, if your landing pages aren't getting enough views, then the problem is somewhere in the ads or in the content. And if you think if the offer isn't converting, well, okay, either you are targeting the wrong person, either you are either your copy is bad. You can literally pinpoint the problem. Actually think of it like a problem solution thing, instead of trying to figure out where the problem is and then trying to solve it and then it not working. It's going to be huge hassle. If all of this were to be trackable, it's going to be pretty simple. So let me explain how. If I were to divide a funnel, this is how I would divide it. First is the attention part. Remember the ads, the content, which is going to grab attention. And then the desire and interest part, which is going to be the copy and the offer, because these are two different things, by the way, which is going to be in the landing page or the page where you're converting the customer. And finally is the action, of course, them buying the stuff. And if they don't take the action, then it's probably because there are not enough incentive. There is not enough, it's not easy enough for them to take the action. So there might be so many reasons for anyone to not take action, but make sure you know what that is and fix it. Hope this helps.